Hello and welcome back to the TV Show Club, the club where we talk about TV shows that we've been recently watching, enjoying, viewing. Let me know in the comments what you've been recently watching and enjoying, and if you've seen what I'm about to talk about, let me know in the comments what you thought about it. It's finally here! Ahsoka is finally here, and it is beautiful. It's brilliant. I love it. This is the most Star Wars any Star Wars has felt in a long time, and oh my god, I just love it so much. The first 2 episodes of Ahsoka have come out and just, Jesus Christ, the first episode was just outstanding from start to finish. It had me gripped and wanting to find out more, to know more. The fact that it started on a title scroll. Why it wasn't like slanted like the films, I don't know, but regardless, I actually got excited seeing a sliding title. I thought, yes, this is what Star Wars should be. And then it pans down to a spaceship and it just, oh my god, I was smiling like a little kid. Seeing the whole like, oh, a Jedi's coming in and I genuinely was like, oh, maybe it's Ahsoka coming to check on the prisoner. No, it was just Balin and his apprentice coming and rolling up. That whole scene where they're like face to face was just, I was like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? I mean, I know what's gonna happen. I knew he was gonna kill them all, but still, to do it in that way and come back it was just so good. Seeing like, it wasn't a full-blown corridor scene, but his mini corridor scene was brilliant. He's a rest in peace, because he is a brilliant actor, and that character is fantastic. How you kind of get hints of like, oh, when he says towards the end of, I think it's episode 2, oh, it's gonna be a shame to see Ahsoka die because she's one of the only Jedis remaining and all this. It's like, he's kind of sarcastic but also not, and you don't know if he's actually like bothered, but he's not, and he's just such a cold, hard villain, and I love it. The world of Ahsoka feels so rich and full of just life. Every different location and planet they went to felt alive, it felt busy, it felt thriving and growing, and that's what it should feel like. I mean, you look at something now like Kenobi and it seems so stale and boring. Every place they go to in that and every shot is just empty. You go to this and it's just so vibrant and lovely to see. There's colours everywhere. It looks nice to look at. Seeing these characters just from Rebels is just, it just does bring a smile to my face. The actor behind Sabine is doing a brilliant job. I thought her introduction with the whole like bike down the road, it was just a fantastic, especially for people who don't know her so much from Rebels. I think that's a great little introduction to her and what she's like. But just seeing her character and seeing Ahsoka, seeing Ahsoka's always going to be brilliant, but it was just so good. In episode 1 and 2, getting not 1 but 2 lightsaber fights, like one either episode, is just brilliant. Now, don't get me wrong, I know there is this whole argument that Star Wars doesn't have to just be lightsabers, but it feels so long since we've had decent lightsaber fights like this. New ones as well, where there's different elements, you know. It's like in episode 2, there was how there was the Inquisitor but also the robot, and the Inquisitor was just, he had 2 blades, and then it was just a great little addition. Kenobi was very much a little, like, don't get me wrong, the final episode of Kenobi was stellar, but every other sort of lightsaber fight that we saw, did we even see any others apart from that? Yeah, we got a mini one, but they just all felt a little bit like hard hitting and nothing like skillful or interesting to watch. These though, I mean, Ahsoka fighting against all the droids, and then Sabine fighting against the droids and the apprentice, and it was just, I just love it. It feels like my Star Wars that I love, and it feels, it's a little bit prequel-y, but that's what I love. That's my Star Wars, and I can't say enough about how much I love it, and I can't wait for this show to continue. My only, not necessarily worry, but my only sort of thing with this show is we've got off to a brilliant start. You know, the first 2 episodes have set up something fantastic, and my only worry is that as we go on, they're going to stray away from it. It feels like episode 3, we should get Thrawn. It feels like from everything that was set up in 1 and 2, we should go to Thrawn in episode 3. I pray that we don't fall into the Disney Plus trap of introducing Thrawn second to last episode or something like that towards the end. He should be in it throughout. It shouldn't be a final episode fight and that's it. Please don't make it so that is all I get of Thrawn. I need it. Episode 3, and then we can go on to other stuff. We can see the development of Thrawn coming back and Ahsoka struggling to try and do anything about it. That's what we need. We don't need a side quest in the next mission. We don't need a ship ship to break down or just anything like that. I beg that the pacing stays as it is, because if the pacing stays as it is, it's done brilliantly. It doesn't feel like anything is put there and it's not got a purpose. It doesn't feel like we're straying away from a main storyline. It feels like from minute 1, episode 1, we were in the main storyline, and I love it, because that's what we miss with the TV shows that we don't get with the movies. I feel like Disney Plus has struggled a little bit with transitioning from movies to TV shows, because they're almost trying to still fit the same amount of storyline that you would get in an 1.5 to 2 hour movie, but in 7 hours, and they're not actually adding anything of value extra, which is not what it should be. A TV show should have more. It should feel like you're getting more, and it never has quite done, and that's why Disney Plus shows have always somewhat struggled, and people have complained a little bit about them. I feel like that is the hindrance, and so if we can keep on this pace with Ahsoka, which I pray that we do, and I think we do, with Dave Filoni at the handles of it, I think he'll do a good job. But yeah, it was just so good. It's like Mandalorian is brilliant, and I love the Mandalorian. Don't get me wrong, I adore it. But to see lightsabers and all these questions about war, and that's what Star Wars should be. Space war. Well, Star War. That's the stupidest thing I've ever said. But this just feels like it encapsulates everything about Star Wars, and I can't wait to see where it goes. I can't wait to see the interactions with Thrawn. I can't wait to see what happens with Ezra. I can't wait to see the development of Sabine, and if she picks back up at the lightsaber, and it has potential, and that scares me now. I had no sort of preconceived ideas or expectations going into this show, and now after episode 1 and 2 I have expectations, and now I'm scared because I don't want it to be ruined. But anyway, yeah, let me know in the comments what you thought about it below, and I will see you next time on the TV Show Club.